Hello all, good morning, good evening or good afternoon. It's been a while where we have seen updates on date and time methods that we have in NAV or Business Central. So in today's video, we'll see what Microsoft have added in this particular area. And I think it's a great enhancement because I'm pretty sure it has been a request for a very long time that we should surely enhance the methods that are available around date, time and date and time, which are our favorite things in Business Central. Everybody deals with date, time and date time fields in Business Central, and there has been some update with BC25 on this. So going forward, from a date field, we will be able to extract day, not just the day, but also the day of the week, the month, the week number, and the year. So you can just extract it based on the new methods that are available. Same goes for the date time, that from the current date time you can extract the date separately and you can extract the time separately. What around time is, you can extract hours, minutes, seconds and even millisecond, but just with a keystroke, with an additional method added on these data types, which is a great enhancement because this had been a request for a very long time that people wanted to know how easy or why it is so tough to kind of extract it. So let's quickly see it on our dev environment. So let me open my VS Code and let me remove this for a while or replace this with the, let's say, my date, which is of type date, my time, which is of type time, and my date time, which is of type date time. Okay, so what you can do, let's have a look. Let's create a procedure to explore what's available. Okay, now in this, what I can do is I can do a whatever the value that is assigned to my date, I can do a my date dot, and I'll be able to extract day out of it, which day this date have, and it'll return you an integer 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 8 5 7, right? Day of the week, this will again return you an integer which will tell you which weekday it is. The month will tell you again which month it is, the values will be 1 to 12. The week number, which week from 1 to 52, which week it is, and also the year, that you can get the year from the date directly. How about time? When we say my time, do a dot, you get hours, minute, seconds and millisecond out of it as a return of it directly. If you are dealing with date time, which is very common in so many scenarios, you can extract date and time. But the cool part is not just that. So like you can extract, let's say from date and time, you want to get the weekday. So what you can do is my date time dot date, which gives you the date, and then from there you can do a day of week, and this will return you the day of week that you needed. The error is because I haven't exited it or I haven't assigned that value to anywhere. And you can do it like this, right? So if you are extracting time from the date time, you can actually do a time, and then from there you can extract minutes or second or hours out of it. So it goes multi-thread where you can get one thing and then out of it. So like my date dot day of the week, which will tell you the day of the week or the month, and then which everybody surely written custom code. There were methods available to extract certain things from the dates, but now it's a built-in method, so you can just use it from your VS Code as it is while you're dealing with date, time and date and time data types. In summary, these are the different methods which are available. So from date, for date, all these are available where you can get the day, which will typically exit you the other call, which is date to DMY my date one. So you can directly get it. You don't have to write a complex function. So as of today, you have to write this to get the day. Same for the month, same for the year, day of the week, you have a different method, and day week 2 is this. I think now, because we have the simple method, the legacy method should be deprecated. I know I'm saying something which will cause problem to some people, because there is a lot of code that's written already. But when we have better methods available, why go and deal with the complex method in the past? Because the new gen that is coming up will always remember how to deal with this rather than this, right? No offense, I loved these functions because they helped us for all these years. In the same way, think about time. When you had to extract hours, you have to do something like this: a format of time into hours 24 and minutes and seconds and thousands, and it's a lot of work there, right? But now you can just do a hour, minute, second, and millisecond directly from your time variable. Same goes for date and time. To extract date, you have to do d2 dt do date and dt do time to get things out of it, to get the part of the date and time, which now you can just directly call it. And the beauty is that once you're using it, you can, just by adding a new dot, you can call either these or these based on whatever you are extracting. So I'm hoping, if I don't expect Microsoft to listen to this, but if Microsoft is listening to it, hopefully someday in future, there should be an expiry date for these. There should be a sunset date for these, where these goes away and we kind of refactor our code. I know it's a little bit pain sometime, but we refactor our code with the newest method that are available, so that it remain in line. Because today what will happen, especially in case of upgrades, when you do upgrade, you bring all this code as it is, because they are supported. And then when we work into the same project in future, we start using this method, and the code gets a little bit confusing, and somebody comments in future saying, oh, why the hell somebody used this rather than using this. So I know it's a problem for all the legacy code, but if there are better methods available which can help reducing the amount of efforts that we have put in the past, why not use them? So I'm a huge believer at this point that these in the center should be obsolete going forward, and we as partners will have to rewrite some of the code, but that's okay, right? So let me know into the comments, do you agree with what I'm saying? And you know the drill. If you like the content, hit the like button. If you think this is something that your fellow developers should know and start writing with the new style of the code, do share this video on social media. And if you haven't subscribed to the channel, do subscribe to the channel. One more thing before I let you go. For all these changes that we are discussing in this series, you need to be on runtime version 14. If you're on prior version, you might not see these changes. So go head up to your extension, update your runtime version, because most of the time we don't tend to update them because the extension is working, and then we lose out all these platform enhancement or features which are available with the latest runtime. I'll see you sooner than later into the next video. Till then, keep learning and keep sharing whatever you're learning. Thank you and have a nice day.